staan nie. Ons het nog die tigers daar agter, maar niks van die ander voer.
As julle net so in plaas.
Wel uit. So bietjie, kyk jy kan kyk daar in die emmers. Daai tigers is ons vat hulle maar soos wat ons gaan uit die bak kyk is hoe we hengel met hulle.
Maar wat van jou
Nee, kyk ons het nog baie voer.
jy bedoel
Soos kyk, hulle het vir ons voer mos ingebring wat klaar gekook is en vandag bring hulle nog.
okay, so hulle gaan dit op.
Maar ons het ek het 10 kilogram sê saam. Ek dan maar net saam. En ons was reg om balle te voer met die steekkaal vir ons dalk 'n bietjie twee keer daaroor dink dat ons self nog meer jong moet doen.
En hulle het nog van die groter voer. Ja.
Maar ja, ek dink ons het al die babas gevang in die dam.
Okay, good morning to everybody. Well, we are almost in the afternoon. Welcome here. We are at the Nyl, and on this peak, it is the catfish competition. So they have decided to catch all the catfish that are in this area. Now they say it's done. They have been plagued by the flat-headed, sharp-toothed catfish of South Africa. And I would like to firstly welcome everybody and thank everybody for watching. We are going to share whatever is happening today on this specific tournament between South Africa and Israel. And we firstly would like to thank our media partners, everybody that makes this possible for me to chat to you and show you what's happening on the pigs. Today is being sponsored by True Feed. Thank you, Chris and True Feed. See, just talking about feed and it's running. Well, they're on with 2 fish now at the moment, so let's see what these chaps are doing. Just want to give you a little bit of a rundown before we watch. They were ahead in the sector. By this morning, 6 o'clock, they were behind to the tune of about 20 odd kilograms of fish against the Israeli counterparts, just 3 swims up. So they are on the back foot. They've made a couple of changes. I can see that there's a lot of bags hanging and it looks like they are busy. So let's chat to them. First let them catch these fish and see what have they done to pick up the rate. And it looks like the size as well. They were the pig with the smallest average fish. If you look on the chart on that table that I've put up on our Facebook, Bank Angler Facebook, have a look at what their average size was and let's see if they are able to improve it. Is dat een wat je nog net gegooid?
Ook gevangen. Ken je van niemand?
Ja.
Dus ik kom met je al die bawers gevangen, nou begin ons die visse vang met die name. Ja, net vir die stok op die pot neersit. En dan kan Konger man. Partykeer help dit as jy jou vinger in sy mond sit. Ah, sy. Ek kyk of hy nou gaan saam speel. Niet te hoog. Goed jou. Dit is nie my nou. Dit is 1.51. Maar dit tel.
Tel.
Water kry jy, sy gaan my stok gooi. Ek het vir jou kaartplek daar.
As you can see, they are starting to get back into the rhythm, number of bags hanging, and we're just going to allow them a while to get all their rods back, and then we're going to chat to them on specifically how they're up to this tempo again and how the focus on the bigger fish has made a difference.
Is jy reg, hoor? Jy het net een stok uit, nou. Ja. Waar is hier rubberkie? Kun jy nog een aanteen?
Kan ons my haak?
Hey?
Jy kan ons my haak en jou is beter as my, man.
Goed, man.
Dis nat, ek is net bang hy breed sny my nou my nat aan.
Die moet oortrekking op. Hy is nu nog nie so gemakkelijk soos by die ander.
Op my stoel.
Ach, het maak skoon. Niks wat seep en water nie kan skoon maak nie. Ja, die gaan weer dip. Ja.
Nee, so
Okay,
nou.
mooi.
So,
Yes.
So Jan, if we look at some of the statistics and what you have been doing, in terms of this morning at 6 o'clock, you were on 120 kilograms, 120.93. At 45 fish with an aggregate or an average of 2.69, which is, I think, much lower than your target.
Yes.
Okay, so what I see around there is that you've turned it around.
Yeah.
So tell us what has happened, what has transpired through the night, and what's happening this morning.
So when we did the peg draw and Carl said to us, okay, I know swim 21, Swim 21 is known for lots of small fish and also catfish. So we said, okay, we'll have to adapt our plan so that we don't put too much finer feed in to lure more smaller fish. So we had to adjust our feeding plan. We had a plan when we came here, and we said, okay, we're not going to do that. We have
So
to,
that plan's not working.
no. Well, we didn't even start it because we knew if we had put in fine feed like chick or any ball, which is consists of either popcorn or chick, we would have lured or
Pulled
had
in all the,
pulled in all
smaller-
the small fish to our swim. So the second obstacle was the catfish. Now, last night we caught 20, 25. And like I said, it looks like we caught all of them now because since the sun came up, we haven't caught another one yet.
Do you think they were shoaling? Were they in a specific area? Do you think they just moved, or is it something that you did different to get rid of them?
So we haven't changed our feeding strategy. We're still feeding on 17 meters where we said we're going to feed, and we're still building that another feeding spot a bit closer, but we've now fishing around it, not in it anymore. So in other words, looks like the catfish will go to your feeding spot, and now you're catching them around. So in other words, 5 or 10 meters left, right. We're playing around with the distances. That's why we don't have any line clips or marked or whatever. We just
casting,
freehand.
freehand.
And like I said, there was a time 15 minutes ago that all 4 rods were out. We were fighting fish. He was on with a fish, I was on with a fish, then another one went, and we said, okay, well, we first have to catch these before we can move over to them.
Yeah.
Now the risk that you have is if that fish is on too long, it can swim over to that side or to those guys over there, because you're fishing at such a distance.
In terms of your average size that you've caught this morning, has it increased?
Yes.
What do you expect the average now to be versus what it was through the
I
month?
think we're going over the 3.5 kilo now, because we caught a lot of fish now, which is in the region of 4, 5, 6 kilos. We even weighed a 6.8 this morning. So, to give you enough. So we've seen by fishing away from your feeding spot,
Yeah.
it makes that difference of you not catching all the smaller fish, because we said we know we're going to work through them. That's a given.
Okay. And the rate, are you also happy with the tempo of the bigger fish?
Well, if we can keep this tempo now, the other guys in the well, we're only fishing against the guys in the other in the other zone, but our overall standing will definitely increase a lot, because as I heard from our captain, it was mostly quiet all over the bank last night, but this morning I think we had 20 or 30 fish before they caught their first fish.
Okay, so you are up on that.
Yes.
With respect to them, because they were ahead with about 20 kilograms.
So we've definitely narrowed that down, went past them, and we now extend that lead. And that's what you want to have, that 20-30 kilo bracket between you and your opposite team, because then you know that every fish that they catch, you've got to catch one as well, so that you can keep
Just stay ahead.
Yes, but which is very important is the size of the fish. Because if you look yesterday, I think we were catching the smallest fish. Our average was the smallest of all of the pegs.
Of all of them, you're the only one that is below 3 kilos.
Yes, and the changes we've made to say that we stick to our feeding spot. We're putting some bigger particles. We're not putting any fine feed whatsoever. It's all particles, pellets, boilies, and we're hoping that will bring in the bigger fish, and those fish will chase away the smaller fish.
Okay, good. So we're just going to hang around here a little bit, and maybe I see that all your feeding buckets are sort of empty, so you can't even show us what you're feeding at the moment.
We might still be able to show you a
show
small
a
amount.
small
Yeah.
amount.
Those we keep that we can fish out of the pot if we want to.
Okay, let's see. Let's go there and see how they changed and what type of feed they are putting in there.
This is our pot. You can have a look here.
Okay, so this is the spot mix in this pom. Now I'm just going to show them and you talk through it.
So we have XL tigers, different size boilies, maize like kaboom maize, and then the variety of pallets that we use.
See that there's about 2 or 3.
Yes. So
different-
those are the zig pallets.
These ones.
Yes. So there's
What does
more-
that mean?
It's floating on top of the water, but now with it being soaked, it might not go all the way up, but stay in the water.
Oh, so it's sort of suspending.
Yes.
So soaked zig pellets suspending
Mm.
somewhere in the water column.
Yes.
Fishing zigs at all?
We caught 2 fish this morning on zigs, which is, well, Roman asked me, should I bring my zigs? I said yes. He says, I hate you. Because he doesn't like fishing with zigs. And that is something in France in September this year. That's something that the Protea team will have to do, is fish with 5-meter zigs. Because that venue, like the Panzier, is known for zig fishing.
Okay, before we get to the zig fishing, we've spoken about the SPOM and opening, and when we were at Anton a little bit earlier, when especially the closer line, to get it to nosedive, when it falls flat nothing happens, but if it nosedives it opens. And also with bigger particles it's a little bit easier, but when you have some other smaller shavings or
Especially
stuff,
hemp seed.
hemp seed and things like that, it comes into the clip, sits there, and if you close it, it doesn't close properly. When you cast, it opens.
Correct.
And then you sort of spray it all over the place. But you need this to nosedive, especially fishing in close. It's not that easy,
No.
because when you do it close and with a crosswind,
Yeah.
it's difficult to manage it onto the spot nosediving.
Yeah.
So you need to decelerate the
Mm.
speed and get it to nosedive
Yes.
and open and manage a crosswind.
Correct.
So it's a bit of a skill.
Yeah,
to get that
and you
done.
also need to give it more air so that it goes, the projectile doesn't go 45, it goes
Yeah.
up in the air and then
Down,
nosedives.
because it needs to do that.
Correct.
Okay, talk to us about zig fishing and why it is so difficult.
So it's about accuracy, because you need to put a zig mix or a sludge or anything that you're fishing or attracting the fish to go to the top. You need to put it in the water, and you need to accurately put your bait there. Now,
Let's just start. I just want to backtrack a little bit and take into consideration that not all of our viewers are carp
Okay.
anglers. What is a zig rig?
okay, so a zig rig is, you can say it's a normal hook link, but it's different lengths. So what you will typically do is you'll first determine body water that you have, how deep is it, because you either need to put that zig 60 or 80% of the water column. So first of all, determine your body of water. In this case, it's 1.8 meters. So we had a 1.5 meter zig.
Okay, so a zig rig is a long hook length, and then you're obviously fishing it with a buoyant bait
Yes,
up in the water,
correct.
and then you need to get some feed around it,
Yes.
or suspending or holding up there. Is there a way, a clear-cut way how you determine that, or is the clipping in on the spot the
Yes.
most important thing?
So accuracy and knowing the distance that you're going to be feeding and fishing. So you've got to clip your rod with your line mate or your sticks, and exact the same length that you're going to be fishing. So it's all important where you stand as well, because a lot of people make the mistake of feeding at 70, but when they clip in their rod, they're standing here and casting.
Yeah.
So your line will have a bit of stretching, but it won't make a 5 meter difference. So you can fish on the spot where you're feeding, because you want the fish will be in that column, because you are luring them now to the top. And it also happens sometimes where the fish are feeding at the top, and that's where you want to feed them the sludge, which is normally composed of popcorn or anything that is buoyant. You can also put coconut shavings, but we've now with True Feed got pellets which is made for zig fishing.
Okay, so True Feed has actually got zig mix pellets.
Mm.
So it's a pellet that is more buoyant, and if you soak it, it's sort of suspended.
Correct, yes. And I'll show you that the book baits we use, we didn't use foam, we actually used a hook bait. call it zig bites.
Well, this is getting interesting. So I'm learning quite a lot here at the moment. So he says, normally with foam, you put a bait with foam. That's what a zig rig bait normally consists of.
So this is zig bites. It looks like a pellet or dumbbell, but it's super buoyant. And then there's different sizes.
Okay, so it's just like an extremely buoyant. It's like a pop-up.
Yes.
Different types, different sizes. Do you put it on with a spike? Do you drill a hole through?
It's soft enough.
It's soft enough.
Yes.
You can just put
the
needle
needle through, and you can hook it on. So here's in this thing is different colors. So color is always important. So some of the lakes, the color changes day and night. Obviously, you won't be fishing zigs at night, but during the day when you can see the fish on top of the water, you can throw a couple of spot mixes there so that you can make sure you keep them on top of the water, and then you put your zig between them.
Okay, so there's a yellow one, a black one, and a yellow and black one.
And they also these are flavored pineapple and butyric.
So butyric acid, normal butyric acid, N-butyric acid,
yes.
and some krill as well.
You get different ones. This is the pineapple. And
pineapple. Okay,
pineapple
so this is the pineapple and butyric.
Pineapple and butyric, yeah.
Okay, we'd like to see it at a stage, but at the moment you're not fishing there.
No, there's a certain time of the day when you see the fish appearing on the top,
and it's quiet.
And it's quiet. So this is something very unique to South Africa. This venue, because there's not a lot of venues where you can do zig fishing. But
okay, well, thank you, Johan. Thank you for sharing that. We're just going to watch you a little bit and see how you're doing. Hopefully these rods are screaming off again.
I think they've got stage fright now.
They see the cameras, so they don't want to come onto the camera. They saw what happened now at the last fish that was caught.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. We are just going to hang around and see what you're doing.
Thank you, Bernard. Ja, ek gaan vir nog 'n paar stoms in water kry.
Godfrey is currently loading PVA bags with some pellets. So let's just have a look exactly how he goes about how he's loading it. Exactly, there's a specific way, and if you don't know, you can learn quite a lot by just watching him what he does now. Well, that's it for now. I think we're going to wrap up and go to a next swim and see what we can learn from that. Questions, remarks, comments, all those type of things, put them onto the lives. Send us a direct message on Facebook or whatever the best is to put it on the lives. We are monitoring that, and we would like to get the comments and answer the questions. So just put it in the comment tab and let us hear what you think, what you want to know, what we need to focus on. Lots of guys that are saying thank you for making this possible. Now, we can't take the credit. It is all to do with our sponsors, so thank you to all our media sponsors that makes this possible. Today belongs to TrueFeed, and thank you TrueFeed for making this day possible. So we're going to sign out now and speak to you a little bit later on the next pick.
Wat ek jou wil gevra het,